Welcome to a channel update for my channel. My name is Nilaus and well, this is my channel, and every month or so I will do a channel update where I briefly just talk about what's going on here on the channel, what I'm working on, what I'm aiming for, what new things are coming up, and that's kind of again what I'm going to do again this time. So of course today one of what you're most anticipated is more details about the new upcoming Factorio live streaming series, but we'll get to that in a second. I have a normal structure where I just briefly talk about sort of the general content creation here on the channel and then go into the specifics of the main games that I'm playing at this moment. Now over the summer period I've been trying some other games that were sort of tangential, peripheral to what I'm usually playing. I played some Riftbreaker, I played some Dream Engines, and I played some Battle Sector. It turns out the Riftbreaker really loved it and played it a lot, and now I'm waiting for the release to come around. I played Dream Engines, didn't like it very much, so I abandoned it, and then I played Battle Sector, which I found really interesting, and despite its kind of some flaws, but then I just really enjoyed it. So I continued that, and it's still ongoing, and it will be finished. There's going to be 19 episodes, so there's a few episodes remaining to be coming online on the channel. And one of the things that I've noticed is, of course, they don't have the same reception as if I was making Factorio or Dyson Sphere program content. But on the other hand, it does have some interest, and I really like that. I'm really happy that some of you have found these games because of me playing it, and maybe playing them themselves, adding your weight and your input. I'm reading all of the comments for these videos for sure, and I've taken a lot of them back into sort of my strategies as well. So it's been really gratifying for me to try something completely new and be able to jump into new games, and that's something that I'm going to continue with. Now, what I actually really like over the summer period, where I've been just sort of trying new things, is that I have like a game that I'm just going into with no information. Just, hey, this is a let's try, this is a let's play, like I did for Riftbreaker, like I did for Battle Sector, and then I have sort of my main games like Dyson Sphere Program and Factorio, and sometimes Satisfactory, sometimes actually not included. You know, some of those games that are sort of main to the channel. I will be doing some content for those, but I don't really want to be in a position where I want to have a video every day that is a masterclass for Factorio, masterclass for Dyson Sphere Program, because they take a lot of preparation. It's really nice for me as well as a content creator to have something that is continuous, like trying a new game, and then something that's more standalone, like a new episode of the Megabase-In-A-Book that takes quite a while to prepare these, a new masterclass, a new whatever those things are. You review like a new guide I did for Mortal Shell. They do take a bit of time, and then have those two things interspersed. I don't know how that feels from a viewer perspective, because I'm a bit worried that maybe it seems like a complete mess, like, okay, there's a new video every day, but now it's this, now it's that. Or maybe you feel like, oh, okay, well, sometimes I watch the stuff that's on this channel and sometimes I don't. So let me know what you feel about this sort of trying new things and still sort of interspersing with some of the main things. I've seen other people who sort of go completely away from their main game for a while and then come back to it. And I don't really want to do that. I don't want to say put Factorio on the shelf or Dyson Sphere on the shelf to go into some other games and then come back in half a year. I'd like to sort of keep something around for those games that I've been playing for a while, and I would call my main games. In terms of upcoming games, I do have a few, like Riftbreaker, for example, is a potential game that I will be playing here, or it might also be something that fits better for streaming and then do guides and that kind of thing here on YouTube. Also, there's a small game called 12 Minutes that have been recommended to me, and I think that might be interesting to do as a YouTube series. I don't think it really works as a Twitch series in the same regard. It's something you should watch when it fits for you. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. I have other games, and feel free to suggest games that could fit as a let's try. That means new games as they come out. It would be great to look at that. I was looking at Death Door, but I don't know. I didn't really have the time to fit it into my schedule. And before diving into the actual specific games, I just want to extend a big thank you to all the Patreon supporters who are supporting the channel. And I know I mentioned it a lot, but it's really because Patreon is the foundation of this channel. It is the main source of income on this channel, and I really appreciate all the people who are choosing to support, especially because I don't gate content, and I'm really happy that I don't have to feel like I'm gating content behind a patronage. So I know that the people who are supporting you are doing it because you want to support, not because you feel like you have to pay for a poster or a plushie or a merchandise or something like that. And that makes it even more special that there are so many of you that are supporting. So thank you very much, and also frees me up from the worst part of the catering to the algorithm here on YouTube. And that's something I really appreciate. I don't like doing clickbait. I am not very good at it. Maybe those two things are connected or correlated somehow. But I really appreciate that I don't have to just be at the beck and call of the YouTube algorithm. So thank you very much, all of you patrons who are supporting. And if you are not in a position or a desire to do that, that's perfectly fine. Feel free to watch, participate as much as you want. So just say thank you to a random patron when you see them. Let's talk Factorio. And before I dive into Factorio, there's just one thing I'd like to sort of mention. And I don't think I'm hitting the right audience, because I know that the audience here are the ones who are the most supportive of the channel and the most keen on watching everything. But there's just one thing that really bugs me, and that is whenever I play anything on stream that isn't Factorio, or I play anything here, and there's always these shitty comments about stop playing this game, go back to Factorio. And it's just, it feels so demoralizing to get those comments, because it's like this one-hit wonder band that they made their one Christmas hit many years ago, and they worked hard on their new album, and they presented, and everyone goes like, no, play that Christmas song. And they just don't want to play that Christmas song all the time. They want to show some of the new stuff. So that's kind of how I feel. I don't want to play that old Christmas song over and over again. I want to play it when I want to play it, and that's what I'm gonna do. So that's the thing. I really love the support for all the other games. I also love the support for Factorio, and since I'm producing so much content that you cannot watch all of it, there will be some that is not going to hit your demographic, and that's fine. Then know that there's going to be other things that will hit exactly for you. Now onwards to the things. My Twitch live stream series Bombs and Biters was a huge success. It was super fun. But it's over now, and it has completed. The base was done. I achieved the 2,700 signs per minute quite stably, but stable, whatever. And the train system was kind of getting strained, so it couldn't be expanded. The updates were kind of getting strained, and we kind of did all we wanted to do in that series. So it was time to end, and now I'm taking a pretty break, and then the next series will come starting this Sunday. So this Sunday at 8 p.m. Central European Time on Twitch TV/Nilaus. Be there, because that's where I'm going to be streaming my new series, and it's going to be exciting. I'll give you more details in just a second. I'll just mention the other Factorio things, like the Megabase-In-A-Book. It's continuing. It's going to be once a week. I've had comments like, can you please do it more than once a week? I could, but then I would not have time to do other things, because I spent quite a bit of time on every episode. So it's going to have to be once a week, because it also allows me to do other things like an occasional masterclass, an occasional base review that I'd want to do as for Factorio as well. But those will be occasional, not scheduled. So the new series, it doesn't have a clever name yet, but hey, maybe you can come up with a good name when you hear the concept of it. It's going to be very different from the previous one. The previous one was a very vanilla game that was just focused on me building big, and the Twitch audience trying to obstruct as much as possible. And it also served as a design for the Megabase-In-A-Book that is running right now. Now the next Twitch series will be very different. It'll be more of a grindy, difficult series. There'll be lots of cliffs, lots of water, lots of biters, expensive recipes, 10 times science cost. That will be sort of the base of it. So it's not about building a mega base, it's about sort of building a base and just getting that incredible scale just to keep the science flowing forwards. And some of the quirks of it, some of the mods that will be affecting it, I'll be using Factorissimo, I'll be using Factorio Extended so that I can get better belts, better upgrades, all those things. I'm going to use Factorissimo buildings as well. Those two things together makes it so that it's pretty much a vanilla game, and that means anyone can come in and watch. Even if you join by episode 10 or 20, you will just go like, oh, okay, so that's a building, you go into it and you have some space. All right, I get it. So it's not like a ton of different things, and if you see another kind of belt, a green belt, then it's just a faster belt. So it's easy to explain. That's one of the things that I prioritize when designing my Twitch series, is that it should be easy to join at a later state and not be completely lost, being caught up within the first 5 minutes of just understanding what's going on. And that's why I don't do the overhaul mods generally, because, well, people don't understand it if they come in and join by episode 3, basically. So that's about it. Also does the one thing that is necessary for me. I have a tendency, maybe you haven't noticed, but I have a tendency to make city blocks. I have a tendency to use these brilliant masterclasses that someone have created to do my designs based off. Well, if I if I have the Factorio extended mod, if I have expensive recipes, if I have Factorismo buildings that constrain the space, then I don't have the option of using my masterclass blueprints, and I have to do the design on stream, which is what is really fun. So that's the reason why I do these kind of things, to sort of break away from sort of my usual city blocks and masterclass designs, so we can do something different without it being a complete overhaul. Now, there's also a Twitch integration. There always is. That's one of the unique things about the way I stream, is that things that happen in Twitch, like subscriptions and donations, have a direct impact on the stream. So with hype trains, that's one of my absolute favorite features of Twitch. There will be a big fat reward for the people who win the hype train. So the hype train conductor, they will now get their name written in ore in the world, and that's the only ore I can get. And it'll be randomized. So that means if there's a hype train, depending on how big the hype train is, there'll be ore spawning, and where the ore spawns, it destroys whatever is there. So it's kind of like the bombs and biters, where donations in that case, but now in terms of hype trains, they will just destroy some infrastructure, and then I have to work around it. This also until I clear out the minerals, because, well, anything put on the minerals is going to be destroyed. That's the dangerous ore. So this is going to be an interesting thing, where the Twitch integration both helps in terms of, hey, this is getting more ore so we can actually expand the base, but it also hurts because it's going to be very inconveniently placed and destroy whatever's there, and I have to work around it. So it's going to be a nice mix of positive and negative there. And then there's a few more integrations in terms of sort of the miners will be these little mining drones, and they will be based on Twitch subscribers, and the research will be based on sort of overall, some of the research will be based on donations, so that there's a bit of integration, so you feel that if you choose to donate or subscribe, then you have an impact on the game, which I really like as part of the Twitch experience there, make it more engaging. Let's cover Dyson Sphere program. I am continuously playing on Twitch. I know a lot of comments here on my YouTube masterclasses are going like, are you going to continue the Let's Play here on YouTube? And I just want to take this opportunity to explain why that doesn't fit so well. I'd love to do that, and I'm going to continue it for a while longer on Twitch until my PC just can't handle it anymore, and I've achieved my science goals and all of the other goals that I have set for that series. But the thing is, like, this transition at this point, it's not new research. It's more like fixing bottlenecks, scaling up, making big designs, using blueprints. Those are the things that I do on my live streams, and it's great fun, and I enjoy it, and I love flying around and doing those kind of things. But compacting that into a 30-minute episode, it's just not going to be telling a very good story, which I needed to do for YouTube. So the story would be like, oh, I ran out of a material, and then I flew back, and then I found out that it was because of some other material, and then I went over and added that. It's just not a good YouTube episode to do that, and that's basically how the game flows to a large extent. It is super enjoyable to play. It works really well with a live stream where a lot of people are paying half attention, but for a YouTube episode, I needed to have a strict goal where it goes, okay, in this episode, I'm going to research this, I'm going to build this. And that functions way better for my masterclasses. Now, some of my masterclasses have been really focused on looking at the stuff that I did for the Twitch stream, like the ray receiver, the automatic Dyson Sphere builder, that kind of thing. Those are designs that come out of my Twitch series. And I have a few other ideas, and then there are sort of basic things like starter science, starter hubs, that kind of thing. And I think that I'll continue to make these standalone videos on YouTube, but I'll also be making some of the late tech science builds as part of also putting them over here. So there will not be an episode 35, 36, 37, 38 for my YouTube, for my for the Let's Play here on Dyson Sphere. If you want to watch Dyson Sphere, I'm still streaming it. I do plan on ending it in around 2 to 3 weeks from now, because I don't expect that I can actually squeeze more out of that star cluster without my PC just bursting into flames. So there is a natural limit where that ends, and then I'll be moving into other games, and we'll see what that could be. Lastly, just mentioning briefly some of the games that are still upcoming and still sort of on my radar in terms of what I'm looking forward. Darkest Dungeon is very much Darkest Dungeon 2, that is very much a game that I'm looking forward to. The fact that it's turning into a roguelite without a story, I don't know. I have faith in them, but I just think roguelikes there are just too many of them, and everything is becoming a roguelike and it just doesn't feel right. I'm a bit worried, but I'm really looking forward to it because they have such good pedigree with the Darkest Dungeon 1. What else is there? There's the Ghost of Tsuchima DLC that's coming out very soon. I really want to do that, whether it's on Twitch, whether it's on YouTube, I don't know. Let me know what makes sense. What else? Riftbreaker, of course, we mentioned it. It's coming out soon-ish. I mentioned this 12 minutes. And then a bit further ahead, we have Ghost of Tsushima, God of War, and Elden Rings. That's coming, probably all of those in the start of next year. So lots of games. If you have some upcoming games, some new games that you think would be interesting, puzzle games, tactical games, of course, city builders and factory builders, then let me know. I'm not going to be playing any old games, so if I haven't played Dead Man's Sky, RimWorld, something Factory, I'm not going to play it because I've chosen not to. So it's about looking forward, finding those new games. Sometimes some niche games that could be interesting. I'd love to play those, and maybe get some interest for you in some of those games you might not have heard about. So I'm also relying on the community for recommendations, and you can share those recommendations in Discord or in the comment section below. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, liking the videos, and joining on the Twitch chat. I would highly recommend, if you have the time, just come on over. Maybe you're not familiar with Twitch chat, but we have a very friendly community, and it's super cool. Lots of people who used to watch on YouTube have sort of moved over and only participate in the live streams because it's just more engaging, where you can yell at me in real time. Yay! Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and stay effective.